moves us, ought to motivate us.
Or the hope actualizes.
Yeah, and
The hope being
that's
faith
right. The
in
hope
Christ.
actualizes, but how does it actualize now? In
Right.
purity now, even though it's not going to actualize in a physical redemption.
Well, in the Galatians 2:20 sense.
Well, yeah.
Like that, if we have that hope, I mean, like in a, like, I think of hope as a specific kind of faith.
Yeah.
And so as we have that faith, the purification is automatically manifested in us.
So, but I think he's saying if we're looking for the complete redemption of our being, then we ought to be, striving after whatever redemption of what we can see redeemed now happening, which is purification.
Okay.
He's not using redemptive terms.
I guess the way that I see the Christian life, though, is that we can't actually strive to do that. We have to trust and allow Christ to do that.
Well, that's right. I mean, there's a little bit of a paradox and a circle there. Purifies himself. Well, you might get balled up over that. How do we purify ourselves?
Yeah, that's a good question. By faith.
But if we're going to strive for purity, see, the temptation is to do that with human effort and power, when the fact is striving for purity means striving for fellowship with God.
But
we misunderstand purity as not being a fellowship issue.
Right.
So if I want to strive for purity, the thing for me to do is not to work harder to obey the rules, but to work harder to be in a vital, healthy relationship with Christ.
Right.
But there is.
I would even not say work harder. I would just say to make sure.
But work out your salvation with fear and trembling. I mean, there is, and the longer you're married, you'll know a relationship takes work. There is a sense in
a relationship takes work because they're both sinners, but when Christ.
Right, it takes work because I'm a sinner.
But it takes his work because I'm a sinner, not mine.
Well, and that's where you get into the thing with, and I agree, and I say to people, we are sanctified the same way we're saved. So there is a sense in which we are not going to work our way to sanctification. But there's another sense in which responsibility requires effort, work on my part. Because if I can't just blow it off and think I'm going to reach sanctification and have purity.
Well, no, because you have to have an active living faith for that to happen.
Yeah, I mean it's as if you could purely do a bunch of stuff for your wife, and that would mean you have a great relationship. You wash the dishes, you mow the lawn, you can do all of those things and say, I'm doing these things for my wife, and a completely disconnected relationship with your wife. At the same time, you can do those things in a way that grows out of your relationship and that contributes to your relationship. Because of my relationship with my wife, I'm going to mow the lawn and take care of the house or whatever it is that we do. So, by appearances, you could be doing the same thing, but and that's what's so difficult about it. In one sense, it's just legalistic and non-relational, and marriage could be falling apart, or in another sense, it could be a great expression of love in the midst of a relationship. So, I think I completely agree with you about the nature of our sanctification, except that I still want to struggle. I want there to be this struggle that I see in Scripture of, the divine responsibility and the human responsibility. And I don't know how those go together, but I do know that the Bible puts upon me a responsibility to act and to work, and I'm going to get rewarded or not rewarded because of choices I make. So choices I make matter in relation to my sanctification. But at the same time, choices I make by themselves are not going to get me sanctified. So I'm not really totally sure. And I think it's where I think we need to be in that place where we're not totally sure how it works together with God and human beings, because I think that's kind of meant to be beyond us in a sense. It's kind of like the election thing.
I was wrestling with this a lot last night. I called Ben at like 4 in the morning. We talked about it for a while.
Well, this is a great question because it's like that with ministry as well. We have to understand that God causes the growth. And Paul talks about that. One plants, one waters, God causes to grow. But there's still a human planting and watering. There's still a human need to try to be excellent. So we're taking Greek, that kind of stuff. That's there. I mean, you can't be totally irresponsible to get up on Sunday morning and go, well, what should I preach on? You need to put the work in ahead of time. And at the same time, though, no matter how much work you put in or how much excellent your sermon is, if God doesn't grab it to do something with it, nothing happens. So there is this mysterious, mystical, divine human cooperation thing in our salvation, in our sanctification, in our ministry, in all of that. And sometimes I have to live in the human side of it. When I'm evangelizing, I'm going and convincing people to choose Christ. Now, at the same time, I don't want to be grabbing arms and twisting arms, but I want to. I think Paul uses things. I want to persuade people to receive Christ. That's on the human level. But I understand that God doesn't enlighten them. Persuasion in the world doesn't get us anywhere. So I kind of have to. That's one of the things where I have to hold on to both of those, and I can't really see where they meet in the middle. Let's go back to verse 6. How are we dealing with the one sinning has not seen him, and neither has he known him?
Or has come to him.
Come to know him. That's the way I would like to translate that. Well,
because imperfect is not how you kind of have to translate perfect.
Yeah, well, you could.
And I don't know, the way that I handle that, and I don't know if I'm right on this, is that if it is a perfect tense, then it's something that has to, the effect of which has to have continued to the present. And if we are not knowing him in the present, then we have not come to know him in the sense of a perfect tense. And if we're not seeing him and knowing him now, then we have also not seen him and known him in a perfect tense. And in which case, sin would obviously be manifested.
So, in other words, I think you're arguing that if you haven't seen him and haven't known him, you never saw him and never knew him.
No, just that if we are not seeing him and knowing him now, then you can't use the perfect tense to describe your seeing and knowing him.
Okay. So in other words, it's like, have you seen John? No. Even though in the past I did see John.
Right. Well, yeah, I guess. I guess I wouldn't put it that way.
Well, I have not seen him. I have not.
Like, it's like you eat.
What would you think?
Yeah, I've eaten, but I haven't eaten in like 3 days. I'm pretty hungry. I wouldn't.
Right. So it's more of a recently sort of thing.
Or is the effect of it still remaining?
Yeah. But see, here's the problem with that argument. You can think of all kinds of examples, like, have you seen John? Have you eaten? And just because the person said no, that doesn't mean they never saw John. They never ate. But you're picking all examples of things that are iterative. That is, John comes and goes, right? Eating happens even in class, which is fine. Eating happens again and again and again, right? God doesn't go away.
Well, God doesn't, but our relationship with God can go away.
Yeah, but if I say I haven't seen Cyrus, if I walk into class on a Monday and Cyrus isn't here, and Pastor Joe says, "Have you seen Cyrus?" No, I haven't seen Cyrus. See, that doesn't mean I have never seen Cyrus. But what if I sat here and said, "I have not known God"?
You can't. The thing is, in English, it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work in Greek either. It just doesn't stand up in the case of seeing God or knowing God, because God is not iterative. God is not something that comes and goes, and the focus is on God, not on my relationship. I haven't seen God. I haven't come to know.
Why is the focus on God when you're talking about your life?
Because God is what I have or haven't seen or come to know.
Right, but what you have to come to seeing or come to
To me, I really don't see where the context provides the idea of recently.
not recently, I mean now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But see, you could use the present tense and say, I am not the one sinning, and so this would make perfect sense. That wouldn't even be a difficult passage then. The one sinning is not seeing God and is not knowing God. Got that? Understand that? Don't have a problem with that. But to me, the perfect is going to say something different than that.
But when you use aorist, he's just trying to say that
See, here's the thing. I have not eaten can mean I didn't eat today. But I have not eaten broccoli. It means something else.
Right.
Have you eaten broccoli? I have not eaten broccoli.
Or have you eaten lunch?
Or have you eaten lunch?
I have not eaten lunch today, but
But do you see the point? You see the point I'm making when you use a perfect has to do with something that happens over and over and over and over. You wouldn't expect that to apply to every single solitary time it happens.
Right.
Have you seen snow? I have not seen snow.
Right.
We would have to say, I have not seen snow since I was a child, or something like that. I have not seen snow since last year. If somebody just says, I have not seen snow, the assumption is they've never seen snow. Because
Well, it would depend on the context.
it does depend on context.
But the thing is that assumes that seeing God and knowing God is a one-time thing. That it's not like an ongoing daily thing, in which I guess comes down to like whichever your presupposition is about the passage, that's what you're going to come to. You know? I
think that's true. I think there's a lot of truth to that, and it's a good lesson on presuppositions. But and I guess both sides of the question would probably see it the same way, but I see it being twisted at that point. And I'm trying to be fair and open-minded and say, well, probably the other side sees it being twisted too. John makes a big deal out of tenses, and to me, the typical answer is
John doesn't make a big deal about tenses. I always heard that John doesn't make a big deal about tenses.
Well, I'd just like to point someone to chapter 2, verse 12. I am writing to you, children. I am writing to you, fathers. I am writing to you, little children. I wrote to you. I mean, he's even there. He's using it poetically.
But not necessarily as far as time.
Well, no, he's using epistolary aorist at that point. I mean, all over here, all over the writings, he's consistently using tense. That's why 1 John is so great, because he's just using all kinds of tenses, and he's using them with all kinds of different significances and all sorts of things. And so here, the one sinning, that's in the present tense. Now, if it was aorist, the one who sinned never saw God, so that would be due to a sinless perfection.
But this does too.
Well, no, I think that he is using the present tense and emphasizing to the hilt the durative nature of it in this case. And I think he's
that assumes your interpretation already, doesn't it?
Well, like you said, we have our presuppositions that we're working on. But see, what you have to do is you have to look at the text and offer an interpretation of it and ask which interpretation says less violence to the text. Or which interpretation makes the text most naturally.
Right.
And so I think, like I said, I think the language is meant to bring us up short. The language is meant to get our attention, to make us stop and think about it. The one sinning has not known God, or seen God, or known God. Well, what do you mean the one sinning? Well, he's speaking the truth. It's the inspired word of God, after all. There's another presupposition. So I'm thinking that what he's saying is taking the durative nature, as being a very great aspect of what he's saying. Is the one who sins continually.
So then, when you say that someone who divorced his wife and remarried stayed divorced to his wife and was in that constant adulterous
I don't think it is a constant adulterous
relationship, even if they just completely abandoned their wife and their wife stayed pure after. And
yeah, I don't, and they remarry. I don't think that marriage, yeah, are they committing adultery? Yeah, by remarrying, but I don't think that remarriage is now a continual act of adultery.
Except that he's still married to the first one.
Well, he isn't if he's married to the second one, or he's committing bigamy, and then you got other.
Right.
But
Well,
he's divorced his wife.
But it's an ongoing sin, and you would have to say that person is not a Christian.
You may be confusing ongoing consequences of sin rather than ongoing acts of sin.
Okay. Well,
My act of leaving my wife
right.
May well be a sin, but remember Jesus says leaving your wife, divorcing your wife, and remarried. So that is tantamount to committing adultery.
Well, then someone who speeds every day when they drive then could not be a Christian.
Well, I don't think that it's saying that if you keep sinning at all in your life, because 1 John tells us any Christian who says they don't have sin is not telling the truth. Is being deceived. Again, we go back to 1 John. I think 1 John is good because we could be tempted to go to a sinless perfection here, right? But 1 John won't let us do that. So we keep getting back into a corner by 1 John itself, and so
but only if you take it that way.
But you're taking an aspect of someone's life, and they say they speak their whole life.
But that's a derivative sin. That's a derivative, regular, constant sin.
Mm-hmm. And you can have a derivative. Well, I don't think you're speeding constantly in your life. To me, the picture is there is here an unbroken pattern of sin in a person's life. Because we already know that there's going to be sin in my life till the day I die. We already know that. Right? So John is being inconsistent with himself if he's saying, if there's anything that any way that I continually sin.
He's also being inconsistent with himself if he says that works have anything to do with our salvation. I mean, you're going to be inconsistent either way you take this. If you take this,
Works have anything to do with our salvation.
Right.
Yeah, I don't see where that comes into it.
Well, if you're saying that if you're not leading a life that meets the standard, then you're not saved. Then you're bringing works into salvation.
Well, I think I'm not saying that. I'm saying that a person who let me get very interpretive with this. A person who never does anything but sin. That's why I said he's taking the derivative nature to the extreme in a sense here.
So you just bringing the standard way down.
A person,
you're still not saying.
I think we're saying is a person who never does anything but sin is not saved.
Well, you're bringing the standard way down, but there's still a standard of personal righteousness that we would have to meet in order to be saved under that understanding.
No, if you have it backwards. What does salvation result in? And the point is not if you can ever manage not to sin, then you're saved. The point is that if you're saved, it will have an effect on the sin in your life. So verse 9, everyone having been born from God does not do sin. Now that gets in a similar quandary, doesn't it? Everyone having been born from God, I take that to be a saved person. So every saved person does not do sin. Now how are we going to deal with that?
Your flesh is still not born of God.
Pardon?
Your flesh is not born of God.
Flesh is not what?
Your flesh is not born of God, neither is your sin, but your spirit is.
Okay.
Your spirit, being the spirit of a believer, cannot sin.
All right. So now we are separating the saved part of us from the unsaved part of us.
Right.
So here we're saying the saved part of us does not sin.
And maybe that pulls us more into no, it's not because Gnosticism,
Flesh is evil.
the flesh is unredeemed, not evil. Anyways, that upsets me when you said that, but because that's not Gnosticism, that's biblical Christianity. But anyways.
Well, but it does scare me to make that separation here, to be honest with you.
Well, it does, but otherwise you're going to have to say that you can't sin. You are not able to sin if you're born of God.
So one solution to this is that when we say the one having been born of God, that what he's really meaning is the part of a person who is sanctified, the part of the person that is now righteous, the new man, right? All right, doesn't sin. In a sense, it's not telling us anything, but he says the one having been born of God. Are we really going to make that kind of separation?
I think that's the whole point of the chapter.
Well,
and I think that's where it hinges. I mean, you can take that two ways, and the whole interpretation of the entire chapter depends on it.
so the chapter is telling us that the saved part of us doesn't sin.
Right, and that as we express, as we live in the saved part of us through faith in Christ, we do not sin at all. That's where in verse 6. And that when we do sin, we're not expressing part of our nature that is out of God. And
it doesn't seem to be a very natural way to take what's happening in the chapter.
It screams of that to me.
We talked about presupposition.
Right. Well, but I'm coming in here from a presupposition about the way I understand Christian life. It's pretty strong. I realize that. But like from understanding my presupposition,
well, I'm not
understanding that I do have that presupposition, understanding the presupposition that I have about about salvation, and two about the way the Christian life works. When I come to this passage, it's it's negative, just glaring in my face about that meaning.
And that's what happens to some extent. But we also have to be careful to let the text speak to us. And I'm not sure we disagree so much about the Christian life.
No, we've got a little tweak difference, I think.
But to me, again,
I'm pretty Catholic if you, obviously.
Well, I can be a little that way.
Yeah.
But there are things that balance that out a little bit too. As I see this, everyone having been born of God does not practice sin. Again, that derivative sin.
There's not practice. That's not true sin.
Well, do, but how are you going to translate poieo? Well, practice is not a real bad translation.
Except I looked in tons of definitions, yeah, and they are strong. I didn't find anything about practice.
Well, I know it, but you remember, a word has its meaning within its context. And here you have, in the derivative sense, and to me the context is pushing it to, and you don't have, and I'm very happy to give away the word practice. Does not, the one having been born of God does not continually sin.
So continually isn't either to sin.
Well, it's present tense, so continually isn't.
But not wherever over here was the.
Yeah, the present. That's a perfectly fair translation of the present tense, and I don't mean just continually. I mean that extreme.
I'm talking about he is not able to sin. That's not present tense.
Where are you looking?
I'm on 9.
Okay. All right. Let me read the rest of it. He remains in him, and he is not able to sin. What is the present tense?
To sin.
Well,
yeah, but it's not. It's an infinitive. It's not
But it's
related.
but all those are present. Able is present, and hamartano is present.
But the infinitive isn't expressing a time.
No, right. Now that's important exegetically. I mean, no one can deny the fact that the present tense has a durative kind of action. Now, the context can move you one way or another on that. I'm suggesting the context moves to the extreme on the durative nature of the present.
So, but does it not just make sense to say he is not able to sin? Is that not a proper translation?
Well, it's proper translation, but it's not aorist, it's present.
Right. I'm saying is not able to sin in present tense.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a fine translation. But I don't think it gets the idea of the thing across entirely. Well, I am nervous about taking the language, everyone having been born of God does not do sin, and making that mean the part that's redeemed of a person who's been born of God does not do sin. And that seems to be that it's saying something slightly different than what the text is saying. And I think we are not really slammed by the language of the text at that time. I think the text is really meant to slam us in a sense about the issue of sin in our lives.
I would agree.
Well, you know, you're still going to go to heaven. Never mind. All right, we spent too long on that. All right, whose turn is it to do verse 11? Somebody hasn't read it yet.
There's not very many of us, so.
I mean, somebody hasn't read it twice yet.
I haven't read twice.
Okay, why don't you take a look at 11?
That defense thinks that this is the message that was heard from the beginning in order that we may love each other.
All right, very good. This is the message which we heard from the beginning. Hina. Now, I think John is using in 1 John, hina, like hati, in many cases, as a direct quote. All right? But the quote is not in the indicative, so he uses hina to introduce it. Now, you get a fine translation of it. But look at it this way. This is the message which we heard from the beginning, quote, let us love one another. Doesn't that make a lot of sense? It virtually means the same thing. This message we've heard from the beginning, in order that we should love one another. But it seems to make a lot of sense to see that here and in other places as really a marker of a direct quotation. All right, how would you parse, by the way, agapomen?
It's a first person plural subjunctive, present active subjunctive.
Awesome. Okay, very nice. All right, well, let's get through this paragraph, and then we'll take a break and come back and get through 19. So let's look at verse 12. Go back to 11 just for context. Because this is the message which we heard from the beginning, quote, let us love one another. Not just as Cain was from the evil one and slew his brother. Now, if you're not following where I'm getting all this stuff, raise your hand so we can talk about it. Yeah.
That verse was pretty much impossible to me.
This verse is hard, but with old eyes it's difficult to see, but you can see Cain has a smooth breathing mark, right? So that is a verb. That is an imperfect from A-B. So, Cain was from the evil one.
Say that again.
Cain was, that's the aim, was from the evil one and slew his brother. Then you have to add, not just
Is that changing that something?
No.
Oh, it's just because that.
It's just Cain was, and then what he was from the evil. So
that's not the part that was hard.
Okay, not just as Cain was from the evil one and slew his brother, and we have something that's a little bit idiomatic, which is also life.
Yeah, I must have been heading to that.
Well, tenos, you could look at tisti, tenos as that's a genitive. Karin, we're getting for the sake of, karin, by reason of, or because of. So, by the definition of it, you're getting the hint that karin can take its completion in the genitive, because of something, right? So literally, because of what? Question. Did he slay him? Right? Or in English, why did he slay him? Because his works were evil, but those works of his brother righteous. Okay, so everybody, that's kind of a tough verse, 12. There's some idiomatic stuff in it. All right. 13. And do not marvel. Now, thalmatzete is a present imperative. Do you see that? So, if context warrants it, you can even translate, stop marveling, brothers. And it probably does. And stop marveling, brothers, if the world hates you. We know that we have been moved, you might say, it's a perfect from metabino. We have been moved from death into life. We know that we have been moved from death into life because we are loving the brothers. Now, I think that's a pretty clear statement of, no, we're saved because we're loving the brothers, right? It seems to me. But we could probably argue that one too. What do you
How can we?
What do you mean? Because we love the brothers. The one not loving remains in death. Right? So if you look at a person, and you couldn't do this, but if you could look at a person and say, there's not any love for the brothers in that person, that would indicate they're not saved. Now, I can't let people say that, right? But I look at my own life and ask, do I have any love for the brothers? And if I don't see love for the brothers, then what reason do I have for believing that I have been transferred from death to life? I mean, what reason do I have for being sure of that? So, love for the brother is a sign of salvation. It seems to me. Verse 15, everyone hating his brother is a murderer. And you know that every murderer does not have, or in English, you know that no murderer has eternal life abiding in him. Now again, I think abiding here is a term of fellowship. So you're not living in your eternal life if you're hating your brother. You know, that
Doesn't that seem to lend itself towards my interpretation of like 3:9?
your interpretation is not all wrong. It just is wrong about those verses.
But it
I
doesn't,
say with great boldness here.
It doesn't seem like he's saying that over and over and over again in this context.
He is saying, essentially, as I boil it down, he is saying our behavior is a sign of fellowship. And I think you are there, right? You agree with that?
Yeah.
I'm just saying he also is saying something else. That our fellowship is a sign of salvation. Okay. That's all I'm saying. And so, yeah, there are fellowship issues all over here. Because bottom line is, how can I be sure I'm saved? Because of the fellowship I experience with God in Christ and other Christians. And that fellowship is defined in certain ways. You know, love is primary to that fellowship. But how do you define love now, right? I mean, you say, oh, you have fellowship. Well, yeah, well, how do you define fellowship? Well, love is characteristic of that fellowship. You know, well, okay, how do you define love? Because you define these things down to the point where, you know, you could have assurance of salvation when you shouldn't, for example, right? So, well, let's talk about love. Well, love doesn't do the truth. Love doesn't do unrighteousness, right? So righteousness and purity, which is defined as being like Christ, comes into play. You know, so Christ likeness defines all of down because, we want to know, are we in fellowship with, by definition, if I'm in fellowship with God and I'm in fellowship with believers, I am what? Saved. By definition, right? Huh? Yeah. So if I can tell if I'm in fellowship, that's a benefit because it's a benefit to tell if I'm in fellowship. But it's also a benefit, a high benefit, it also tells me that I'm saved, right? So, so I'm just seeing another layer. I think that you're not.
No, I see exactly what you're saying, and if that's what is all that he was saying, if saying recognize these things shows you that you're in fellowship, which proves that you're saved. If that's all that there's here, then I wouldn't have a problem with it. My problem is when he's saying things like the one born of God does not sin, he's not able to sin. Those sort of things. That's from a negative side, saying that your works tell you you're not saved.
Oh, yeah, I mean he's saying
that's why I don't. That's why
he's saying it from a positive and a negative side. And we're getting caught up in all this kind of stuff. But he's still talking about the one born of God. He's still talking about something being redeemed or not. And even if you say, well, that's the redeemed part, it still doesn't avoid the fact that he's talking about a sign of redemption.
Yeah, well, yeah, in a sense. Yeah, I mean,
the fact is, even if I completely give you your point on verse 9, it doesn't take away that verse 9 is about a sign of redemption.
well, that it's there. I mean, of course, because we obviously.
He's trying to do something about somebody who's redeemed.
Right, we could live, we could live by our spirit. All that, if not saved, it's not going to result in righteousness. It's going to result in death and wickedness.
Yep. All right. Verse 16. By this we know the love. Now, what do we mean by love? By this we know the love. Because that one, on behalf of us, laid down his life. And redemption in our chairs because F-A-N is what? You see that there? Verse 16? What's it from? Tithemi. That's right. Don't kill me now. Tithemi, right? So how are we going to parse that? We can parse that. That's not that hard, is it? Aorist academic, third singular. Good. How do we know it's aorist academic? How do you know it's aorist? How do you know it's not present?
Because of the epsilon amen.
Okay, well, yeah. How else do we know it's not present?
There's
More important.
no duplication.
That's quite right. There's no iota reduplication. Right? That's what we're looking for. Iota reduplication. Missing. So we know it's not in the present system. Okay? What else is there not?
Epsilon
Not epsilon reduplication. There's epsilon, but not reduplication. Teth would be perfect. All right? So it's not perfect. It's not present. It is either aorist or future. How do I know it's not future? Okay, no, or no theta sigma. Right? So I don't have the future is going to have very future-looking endings. I don't have that. Here I have a kappa first aorist. Okay, that's very good. So here's an aorist tithemi. All right. So, and by this we have come to know the love. That's perfect. Is come to know because that one, on behalf of us, laid down his life, and we ought we also ought, on behalf of the brothers, to lay down our life. Now, how do we get our life at a tas psukos? That's not quite as NIV thing. Now, psuke is what? Life or soul. The word psuke. Old and New Testament, the word for soul will be used for life. Hebrew. Right? Interesting. Hebrew Old Testament animals are said to have a soul. Tas. There is a use of the article that is possessive use of the article in Greek. Now, whose soul are we talking about? The context makes it very obvious that it is our life that we are to lay down. And that article right there is precisely that possessive use of the article. So that actually is a good literal translation of the text there. Now, let's deal with Thenai. How would you parse Thenai? Very end of the verse. Do you
There's this is a majority.
Yeah, I'm wondering that. How do we deal with Stanley? We do not have reunification, so it's going to be Eris. What kind of Eris? Yes, it's an Eris infinitive. That's how we translated it. To lay down our life. And we're looking for an infinitive because of Ophelo, right? Ophelamin, we ought, what? To do something. So we're searching for infinitive, and there it is. Stanley, Eris, active infinitive from today. Very good. Number 17, this is de is just post-positive, right? But we have has on. What does that mean?
Whoever, or whichever.
But whoever has, that's, how do you parse eke? That's right, present active subjunctive. So whoever has the life of the world. Now, what does it make you think of? Stop loving the world. These are the things in the world. The lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the boastful pride of bodies. And here, look, who has the life of the world. What do you think the life of the world here is?
Worldly living, more so.
Worldly goods. The stuff of life. It's the stuff for physical life. Resources we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Money and food and stuff, right? TV, right? Okay? So the boastful pride of life, as we said before, has to do with the physical trappings of life, right? The successes of life. Right? So whoever has the life of the world and sees his brother having a need and closes up his bowels or his compassion. This is a great word. We used to heart to describe feelings, right? But other cultures use different parts, like kidneys and throat in some cultures. Or here, in Greek, the bowels. To be so deeply moved, you feel it in your bowels. So if you close up, he closes up his bowels from him, his compassion. That would be a better translation. His compassion. Refuses to have compassion for us. How is the love of God remaining in him? How is the love of God remaining in him? Now we're defining love in some sense, aren't we? Right? What do you mean by love? Whether love is a test of fellowship or salvation, it is actually both, isn't it? And so how are you going to define love? Children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, or let us not love by word, neither by tongue. I'll take these as instrumental cases, right? Or a dative instrument, if you like. But in deed and truth. So our love is to be in action, our love is to be according to the truth. Our love is not just to be just word. I don't think that denies the fact that we can speak something and it can be an act of love to somebody. But I think the idea is love is not defined entirely just by saying things, right? You need to back up for that.
Be warm and well fed.
Exactly. All right. So pretty fascinating stuff here. Pretty interesting stuff. All right. Let us come back at 9 and we'll finish this.
We can knock it out, couldn't
We do. We can knock it out if you want to do it. I'm willing to do that. I also want to whip through 2 John D with you.
we? Okay. Then we might want to do
Yeah,
it.
it won't take very long to get through John D, I think.
I'm okay with it. I'm very hungry though, so I don't know if anybody else.
Read it. Sorry, this is far. We haven't gotten to 3. Okay. 3, verse 19.
So, please, just give my your chance. Let's get popped out of here. You don't have to abandon what you're talking about.
I'm listening.
I know you are.
I'm not trying to be,
I'm just playing.
trying to be dogmatic or argumentative or anything.
You're being perfectly gracious, and I hope I'm going to have to try.
You are very gracious.
We've been making it.
Okay.
You would do well in the free grace camp. In fact, we need more gracious people than free grace.
I have a feeling I'm not too far from the free grace people,
truth we are. Or we are from.
Okay, yeah, I like to say by this. By this we will know that we are from the truth.
By this. Okay.
Okay?
Okay. And cross then is this one's what's that word? In front of him. In front of him. Persuade, right? We are persuaded.
Well, it's from people. Here it's based on man. So in the future we persuade.
We persuade your hearts.
Whose hearts?
Or,
Our heart.
yes.
Since it's because English wouldn't be our hearts,
You think so,
but in Greek it's heart. Because each one of us has one. But in English it's our hearts.
we
We
all
all have a bunch. We all have a piece. Put together we have a bunch. Okay, that's very nice. Let's do verse 20.
I would. That if he might condemn us, that if a heart might condemn us.
Okay, because if our heart
Okay. Because
condemns us,
if our heart condemns us,
present heart is condemning us, would you say? Okay, good. This is kind of awkward.
because heaven was great, is that right?
Well, yeah, actually, yeah, okay, and it's back to persuading. And before persuading our hearts, we might even say that if our hearts condemn us, that greater.
That's kind of.
Is that
Isn't that a construction that the hati it has two, and it means even if then or something like that, an if then statement might not.
Could be. It's beyond
which one's what, Roberto?
Like hati and so
I don't think that's.
okay.
Could be.
was made to us great? Because the God of our heart is greater, and He knows all things.
No, mate zone is a comparative. We're going to talk about comparatives next week, I think.
Is in our heart.
And yeah, and it takes an adjective comparison. We hear 8 cases for gender comparison. So the heart is going to be the part that is compared. So God is greater than our heart. And
Oh, and all things.
okay, so by this we will know that we are of the truth, from the truth, and before Him we will persuade our heart that even if our heart condemns us, that greater is God. God is greater than our heart and knows all things. Now, see, from this I draw. Here's how we know we're from the truth. Our hearts might condemn us, so we are not of the truth. Here's the part where I draw there's an issue of doubting salvation in First John. But I'm just a simple country pastor. So I take it. All right, 21, verse 21.
But if the heart does not condemn us, we have that one we had. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Beloved, if our hearts do not condemn us, we have confidence. God. Oh, with God, toward God.
God is Jesus. John. We have confidence toward God. Yeah. Well, when you think about how you have a good fellowship with God, if you're not confident of your relationship with God, if you're your salvation.
Kind of hard.
Okay, any questions on that? 22? Let's see, grab 22. Do you have a question on that?
22. And what, and whatever we may ask, we are receiving from Him, because we are keeping His commandments, and things we are doing things pleasing for Him. So what's NLP on before you?
What mood do you think atonement is in? It's from iteo. Yeah, if it were indicated, it would be so that's very nice. Okay, you guys are doing well. 23. Anybody, any of us not ready to fall for red?
Yeah. Sure. You
We're going to let you read 7 John.
must break it down and do different parts. Part of 23.
Yeah.
And
This is
the command.
This is like a 7-minute
this is ignore that.
We might believe, will believe. You so is that?
Okay, here's a key.
We might believe, might will. We will might believe. Might.
All right, let's do something. Okay, and
We
this
would believe.
is His commandment in order that. Okay, just those many parts there. First plural,
There's a plural subjunctive.
yeah,
And then all backwards.
that's all right. But
Eros.
Eris, right? Why is it? You want to make it future, didn't you?
Yeah, so I don't know.
You want to make it future, didn't you?
That's the thing.
That's right.
They're all future. I remember having that conversation.
Good, excellent. Yes, there's some joke.
What we would believe, that'd be reasonable.
And this is His commandment in order that we might believe. Now, I think here again, I think Hannah could serve here as quotation.
Quotation.
Check it out. Let me just throw this in front of you. And this is His commandment. Quote, let us believe in the name of His Son Jesus Christ, and let us love one another just as He gave commandments. So I'm just guessing. Otherwise, you translate it as His commandment that we should believe in the name of His Son Jesus Christ, and we love one another. Everything is the same, just as He gave commandment to us. But I think John says all the time. I mean, this is the commandment. Didn't He tell you what the commandment is? This is the commandment. Don't you expect to get the commandment? And why would you expect to be with the commandment? Number 24. And
One keeping
one keeping
his commands,
commands
which remain in him,
in Him,
and
in Him.
And by this we are knowing
knowing that
that
he remains in us.
Remains in us.
the Spirit is
No.
And by we know that He remains in us from the Spirit which He what?
He has given us.
Who?
Has given us.
To us.
Has given.
Gave. Eris. Gave.
That's right.
So again, one keeping His commandments remains in Him, and He in Him. And by this we know that remains in one another. By this we know that He remains in us. Okay. Now
It
this is
sounds
not.
like the upper room.
Yeah, it does. But this is not us remaining in Him. But I think that this He remains in us goes back to salvation. Now, that's not the strongest argument. But I think that.
Send you my Spirit, the Comforter. He will remain in you. He will teach you all things. This sounds like the upper room.
Yes, well, it does. By the Spirit you gave. But only those who are saved get that.
Only those who are able to address in the upper room.
Right. So by this we know that He remains in us. So if I know He remains in me, what do I also know?
I remain in him.
Well, that's the fellowship. If the fellowship does not depend on remaining in me, He already does. The fellowship issue depends on me remaining in Him.
Okay.
Right? But He's remaining in me if there is a one. If I say there is a one-sided relationship, at least that's there, because He's in a relationship with me, but I'm not in a relationship with Him. See, He's ready for a relationship. Well, now that verse doesn't apply to that certainly. Normally, when you see abiding, you're going to relationship or fellowship issues, not sleeping. Right there, 15. abiding thing. Again, I think showing us that our abiding, I mean, this is something we don't even disagree with. Our abiding comes as a result of salvation. You have to be saved to what, right? This question is going to make it a point. You missed out on D, so let's just hit John D. And before we're done with John D as well. I have to tell you that I have not looked at 2 John for at least a couple of years. You know, the Bible's big. I'm talking about Greek, you know. So I have to refer to it. But at least you'll know that you have to be perfect in Greek, right? All right, so the elder presbyteros, we had that, didn't we? The elder, eklete, notice the subscript, dated. The elder to the chosen lady. The idea of Lord and Lady, kurios, right? The elder to the chosen lady and to her kids, whom I love in truth, and not I only, but also all those who have come to know the truth. Well, save people. Everyone cares. Anyway,
No, only those same people fellowship. This is the second time, first time. Forget the upper room now.
Only possible.
On account of the truth remaining in you and will be with you, or is with you forever. Grace, mercy, peace from God the Father and from Jesus Christ, Son of the Father, truth and love be with you. Let it be. Let it be. All right. I just hope my name rolls out here. All right, verse 4. I rejoice exceedingly. Here is from Cairo. I rejoice, I believe it's in that passage. I rejoice, check it, please. I rejoice exceedingly because I have found perfect, that's your legal word, isn't it? Yep. Oh! Okay, good. Because I have found some of your children walking in truth.
Son?
I have found from your children walking in truth. So we have this some of your children walking in truth. Just as we received a command from the Father. And now I ask you, lady, not as writing a new command to you, but that which we were having from the beginning, in order that I'm going to say, let us. And this is love. Quote. Let us. Maybe it's quote. Let us love according to His commandment. In order that we might love according to His commandment. Love? No. Walk. I'm sorry. Walk.
Live. About that.
I meant.
Yeah.
I was righteous. I just didn't say.
You just tested us. We caught it.
Yes, I just tested you. Walk according to His commandment. This is the command, just as you put in the beginning, in order that you might walk in it. Because many deceivers went out into the world.
Planet.
Yep. Well, it's the cognitive, that verb, But it is related. Many deceivers went out into the world, those not confessing Jesus Christ coming in flesh. This is the deceiver and the antichrist. Watch yourselves in that you might, that which worked might not be destroyed, but you might go forward. Now that's a little convoluted. that thing might not be destroyed, what?
What's
That which you accomplish, erga, ergazo, ergasas, that, what's what?
ha?
Ha.
Let's recognize it.
Ha is a relative pronoun.
Is that
The things, which, so it's plural.
okay? Oh, okay.
Makes sense?
I think so.
If it were an article, it had to be ta.
Sure. That's why I knew it didn't look like an article.
Relative pronoun just doesn't have the temper on it. It has a reason mark, ha.
So would it be plural neuter?
The things which.
Okay.
So watch yourselves in order that the things which you accomplish might not be destroyed. See how that works? But you might receive a full reward. Any questions on that? Apolambana, you see that? That's aorist. Apolambana, aorist. Subjunctive, right? All right. Everyone going. Let's see what this gives here. Verse 13. Everyone, leading out, going for. Okay. Everyone going out and not remaining in the teaching. Okay, see, we know that. So that's the noun form. The teaching of Christ does not have God. The one remaining in the teaching, this one has both the Father and Son. Now we said in 1 John. I wonder what that means. Has Father, has the Son. Well,
Can you have
teaching.
without the other? I mean,
No.
so then why does
Well, that's what he's saying. You have it. You have both Father and Son.
Oh,
You can't have one without the other. What teaching specifically do you think he's talking about?
Christ in the flesh?
I think so. So if you go out, and you do not remain in the teaching of Christ, that is, he came in the flesh, you do not have God. I think that is probably a distinction issue, isn't it? So here I would say that having not had God, having God is a salvation issue. We're going to see that. We haven't read it. We'll see that in 1 John, that same language. If a certain one comes toward you and this teaching does not bring, do not receive him into a house and do not say to him, Karein. Now, Karein is a greeting. Right? So do not say, hi, or have a nice day, to put it in American.
God bless you.
God bless you. Do not give him a greeting. The one, and here I think claiming works good for highlighting. The one claiming, for the one saying to him, Karein, the one giving him a greeting, shares with his evil work. We know that's their koinonia work, right? Or has partnership with his evil work. So we have partners with those false teachers by encouraging by saying to them, hi. Right? So what does this say about those who come to our neighbors, denying that Jesus came in the flesh? Well, I think that the Jehovah's Witnesses would be examples of that. I think that Mormons would be an example of that. That's why I've changed my practice. When they come in the role of the false teacher, I don't invite them in. I don't say, peace be with you. I say, you are. Feel you can respect it.
What if you keep them out in the yard and keep them from your neighbors?
I guess you're not writing the letter of this, or I think you're probably writing the story.
I'm asking because that's what I do for them. I
Well,
don't,
that's better than writing it. At least your
I
neighbors
don't
can see
invite
it.
them in.
At least your neighbors can see you fighting with it. I think.
Well, wouldn't this be more like than if they had house churches? The idea of someone coming and teaching, and you just welcome them in like that.
Well, you could go there, but I don't think you would here because it just says into a house, and you can't assume that every house. Well, I mean, you could be meeting in any house, but it also says give him a greeting. To even give him a greeting is prohibited.
Okay, let me just ask a question.
Yeah.
How would we ever reach a cult member?
You reach them on the day when they're not evangelizing or outreaching for their church or their organization.
So when they're not teaching these things?
Oh yeah, if they're your neighbor, if they're your neighbor and you know, invite them over for dinner, maybe, and talk to them. But I think as they're going door to door and as they're in the role of a false teacher, you know, as they're riding around on their bike with a white shirt and tie on.
When are they not in that role? I mean, when are you in the role of being?
Well, I don't know that you may not be in the role of ever in contact with them, but they're not in that role a lot. Most of their life, they're not in that role. I mean, I'm talking about Jehovah's Witnesses or Mormons.
But wouldn't, in the same way that we are always teachers of truth, no matter where we go, no matter what we're saying, we're still hopefully teachers of truth. Wouldn't they, in the same way, be teachers of?
First John is saying that the Antichrist went out from us, so not of us. Just from a practical standpoint, you're just not going to convert someone who's utilizing for a church. It's just not going to. Can God do anything? Yeah. You know, but if somebody's in the setup, they're going to have to bring into the church. The psychological and peer pressure kind of hurdle you have to get over.
So do you think there could be something to where he says that they come out from us?
Yeah, you know,
Someone that's in the truth and is left in house purposely.
I don't think that necessarily that individual was, you know, once a Baptist or something and another was Mormon, although that happens a lot. They're calling themselves Christians, certainly. They want to present themselves as Christians.
Now.
Yeah, now at least. Maybe there's a sense in which arguing with him strengthens him.
The one thing, where I grew up, the Mormon church was very large and it was a very small town. So most people were either Catholic or Mormon. And a lot of my friends were Mormon. And yeah, every time that we ever got in a discussion about it, they would end at a place, well, you're just discriminating against Mormons. You just don't like us. It wasn't that they could refute the truth, but they wouldn't, like you say, you wouldn't convert them by arguing with them. They would just shut down and
Convert by asking questions.
yeah, and that's what it ended up being. That, you know, we would start saying, well, what about this? Why don't you go and look at this? And eventually, we got in trouble with it. Elders of the church because the kids were reading stuff they weren't supposed to read.
Well, like the Bible.
But yeah, like there's been some people who have come out of Mormonism and recommended those because it goes right into this. You know, this is what it comes from. This is what, you know. So it kind of we eventually quit arguing with them and said, hey, just go read these, and then if you have any questions, come and ask me about it. That seemed to be a better thing than just to say, oh, you're wrong because the Bible says this.
My best friend in high school was a Mormon. We had constant discussion about the whole thing. You know, I think that's all right, but I mean, there's a sense in which we almost validate them by arguing with them. I mean, it's, you know, if you blow them off, you know, to me that might be a more powerful statement of what we're talking about so worthless. It's not even, you know, I'm going to give you the time of day. You know, although I can't say this is enjoyable to sit down with Jehovah's Witnesses, you know, and trap them because they don't agree with me, probably. You know. Oh, did you? I wanted to see if I can find a Greek lesson around here, please. You know.
I have one.
I'm not. That's not enjoyable. But I'm not sure it's all that productive on what we can do. So this is, you know, for me, this changed my practice of dealing with false teachers.
Tell them to set up an appointment with you, with your secretary.
Yeah.
But wear no tie.
One Jehovah's Witness guy, you know, they were in the driveway, and I got home, and they were knocking on the door, and trying not to be too rude to them, but you know, very friendly either. You know, just kind of tell them to get on their way. And finally, had to admit that I'm the pastor of the church in town. And I just don't appreciate the elders very much. So be on your way.
They said likewise. We don't appreciate yours. we had one come up, it was on Christmas Day, Eve. Yeah, and a little girl. Couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. Hey, we got some really important information for you.
I hope Matt and Tam are okay.
I saw their car
Where?
in the parking lot. Yeah. I think they might be talking.
Are we for that? You never talk.
I don't recommend it. Not has so many problems. Kidding.
All right, verse 12.
Many are having.
Give it a shot. Give it a shot.
Many of us are having to write. Not receive.
Things I have to write, not with
Sheets of paper. Wait.
Black ink.
ink. But I hope to be with you and
Stoma.
face to face, mouth to mouth.
Yeah, that's
Oh, speak mouth to mouth, face to face.
See, there's an title there.
Yes.
Spiritual mouth to mouth.
in order that the joy, our joy, be made complete.
Maybe.
Maybe filled.
Yeah.
What is hey? No, a. Is that a which? Is that one of those?
No, it's just pretty.
Well, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Amy?
So how do you want to translate all that? In order that Hannah, yes, it is Amy.
That word that our joy may be full.
Okay. So what is A?
That's the next word.
Amy is
Will.
Mike. Now we have a Hannah clause, right?
How dare you use grammar?
Not a bad thing to be looking something up. That's a good word.
He was using this. He was using
Mike.
the Bible.
His Bible.
He was using this Bible. Not
Yeah, I know. But you know this, right? You can get this from what you know. All right. We have a Hannah clause, right? So the Hannah clause starts with the Hannah, of course, and goes to the end of the sentence. Now, a Hannah clause means there's going to be a main verb in that clause. It's a subordinate clause, Hannah, right? Hannah is a subordinate clause, which means that it can't stand alone without another part of the sentence to make sense. Because you can't say, in order to that, you might get what, right? You have to have some other stuff with it. But it is a clause. That means it's going to have a subject and verb of its own, right? And also, we're going to know about the verb in a Hannah clause.
I want to go with subject.
That's right. The verb's going to be subjunctive.
Yeah.
All right, so Hannah, and then we know hey kara is what? We know that's a
Joy.
noun, joy. And what case is it in?
Nominative.
Nominative. So I have strong suspicion that just might be what? The subject of this clause. All right, Himon is our, so that's just fine joy. So in order that our joy, now, is pepperomene.
Is it perfect?
Say perfect?
Person.
Close.
Only is it a length?
Perfect participle.
Oh.
Subject.
Perfect passive participle. All right, it's a perfect passive participle. Masculine, feminine, singular from plurao. Right? And that is a.
Third person singular subjunctive. Maybe.
Present subjunctive, third person singular, maybe. Awesome. So, what do you have here? What kind of construction do you have here? A participle and a form of AD.
Oh,
Periphrastic. Yes. Yes. Yeah. 10 points. That's right. 10 points. Remember, take a look right at 1 John 1. Remember this? First John 1.
Hey, that looks familiar.
And these things we are writing in order that your joy might be made.
He just switched it.
guys stuck on the church.
Switched the
It needs to be innovative.
So let's go and do 12 with a little more refinement. So
Mine and you do the refining.
there you go. That's cool. All right. So the main verb of the first clause here is ebulethin. Right? feign, they, stay. So it is an aorist passive indicative, first singular from I did not want. What? And we were looking for an infinitive.
Right.
I did not want to write with through cartoon paper sheets of papyrus. Wouldn't be like, you know, photocopy paper. And ink, melanos. Now, melanos means what, literally? Black, right? All right, so ink. Now, cartoon, where do you get our word card from? Well, cartoon.
The little the thing that has two different languages on it you can use to figure out like the Rosetta Stone.
Oh, but we still have the first two words of the letters, right? Having many things, and that's where you go to write. Having many things to write to you, and really to write is kind of neutral duty, isn't it? Having many things to write to you, I wish, understood, to write, right, through paper and ink, but I am hoping to be with you, and my side is Paris, right? You notice that?
Mm-hmm.
To be with you and to speak mouth to mouth in order that our joy might be fulfilled. How's your team? How's your team then?
A spaz, that's the greeting.
How's it not?
So children, greet your sister, your chosen sister. Greet.
Yeah, the children, your chosen sister. That isn't a spaz, though. That's
No, that's how I remember.
there you go. He agrees with that. That's fine. So there you go then.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. We're going to go tell